We'll have all the stories, transfers and headline makers from what's now regarded as the most glamorous and competitive league in the world. Tottenham Hotspur's troubles continue this week. Chairman Alan Sugar has threatened to quit Spurs and sell the club for £50 million. Sugar is under pressure from fans following the departure of Jurgen Klinsmann and Nick Barmby, and he's made it clear that he's unhappy with constant criticism. Jurgen Sommer, the 26-year-old American international goalkeeper, is to join Queen's Park Rangers. A fee of £600,000 has been accepted by First Division Luton Town. Arsenal's Danish international John Jensen has signed a new contract with the club. Jensen, who'd been in dispute with the previous management, will now be staying on at Highbury for another year. Everton striker Duncan Ferguson could be out for 6 to 8 weeks after a second hernia operation. This will take him up to his court appearance over an on-field headbutting incident in Scotland. England coach Terry Venables has announced his squad for the friendly international against Colombia on September the 6th. David Seaman, Tony Adams and Rob Jones are all back in the frame after missing the Umbro Cup tournament in June. Paul Gascoigne is likely to begin the match after a successful start to his career in Scotland. Players recalled include Chelsea's captain Dennis Wise, he's back in favour, and Coventry winger John Salako, who last played for England in 1991. He's the biggest surprise in the squad. But Venables has overlooked the talents of Paul Ince, Matt Le Tissier, and despite the withdrawal of Stan Collymore, the English striker who's made the most impact so far this season, Newcastle's Les Ferdinand. England's captain, David Platt, is to undergo keyhole surgery to repair a torn cartilage in his right knee. Platt, who withdrew from the England squad, will miss the friendly international as well as a month's Premier League games for Arsenal. Platt's injury was revealed after he scored in the home game against Nottingham Forest. His sensational goal coming up later. Setting the pace at the top of the Premier then are Newcastle United with a 100% record so far. That run is now under threat though from north-east rivals Middlesbrough, who themselves under Brian Robson have returned to the top division in encouraging fashion. Two clubs whose upturn in fortune over recent times is certainly helping to rebuild the image of this part of northern England. Newcastle is a city experiencing a revival in its football fortunes. The club have had a terrific start to their season, with the belief that United can at last successfully challenge for the game's major honours, reflected in a newly refurbished stadium to rival any in Europe. And so then to St James's Park, perhaps the best place to be at the start of the season. The commentator on the North East Derby is Ian Dark.
Newcastle United 100%, and this is the unchanged team that Kevin Keegan has spent £14 million on rebuilding after last season's damaging slide. The new men, Les Ferdinand, 3 goals already, Warren Barton, £4 million from Wimbledon, keeper Shaka Hislop from Reading, and the wonderfully gifted David Ginola from Paris Saint-Germain. It really is a very exciting lineup. As for Middlesbrough, they've started well with that draw at Arsenal and the home win over Chelsea, so it's no wonder that Brian Robson keeps an unchanged side. The signing of Nick Barmby for £5.25 million from Spurs has added some real invention, and up front, Jan Arge Fjørtoft is a proven top-level performer. A local derby with a local referee. Robbie Hart from Darlington is the official, and a magnificent atmosphere at St James's Park. A full house as Middlesbrough in their red shirts kick off, unbeaten so far in their 2 matches. A very good point at Arsenal, followed by a home win over Chelsea. But Newcastle United 100% off to a flyer yet again. But of course, last year they faded badly and finished out of a place in Europe, and that was a catastrophe really for this club. Massive test for Middlesbrough, and Brian Robson there tonight. Brian Robson, who used to be a Newcastle United fan and watched from the terraces here as a boy. This is Neil Cox, who was a big success for Middlesbrough as they finished champions in Division 1 last year. Fjørtoft on the turn. Good challenge from Steve Howie, but Fjørtoft has already proven his pedigree at the top level. Got plenty of goals late in the season, even when Swindon Town were being relegated from the top flight. The early corner then for Middlesbrough. Warren Barton, the £4 million signing from Wimbledon, getting it away. Now here's Gillespie. Lovely turn from him. Nobody closing him down. Gillespie might fancy the shot. He doesn't in the end. It's Barton. Now Ginola. Well, he really got hold of that, did the Frenchman. He's already a darling of the St James's Park fans, and this isn't so very far away. It's on his better right foot, and that whistles just over the angle of post and bar. Here's Ginola again. He's got so much skill, but so much pace as well. Lee to the tricky Gillespie. Now he wants a long shot. And Alan Miller beating it away. It's almost shoot-on-sight stuff from Newcastle United. Beardsley chests it down. Here he is again, threading the ball through the eye of a needle once more. Barton. Ferdinand is the target. Appeals for handball against Cox. It bounces around dangerously, but there's an offside flag up on that far side. Now here's Gillespie, shot a moment or two ago. Was curving a bit, and Miller had to be very alert. Here's Nicky Barmby. A rare sortie for Middlesbrough. In towards Pollock. Oh! Inches in it. Jamie Pollock, the youngster, almost stunned this big Newcastle crowd with a goal there. Barmby picked him out so well. Quite nicely controlled. It wrong-footed Shaka Hislop. Beresford now for Newcastle. Ginola, look at that, chipped up beautifully for Barton. Now here's Gillespie again. And Miller doesn't hold it. Lee almost on the rebound. Well, the ball's not really sticking for Alan Miller. And Middlesbrough nearly paid the penalty there. Gillespie's shot and Lee very, very close. Vickers gets it away, but only to Beardsley. Almost constant pressure from Newcastle United. This time it's Lee Clark. Lee again. Gillespie, they're pouring forward. Barton's wide if he wants to use him. He doesn't. Gillespie gets it back dangerously. White gets it away. Hignett belts it anywhere, and Middlesbrough survive again. He really is a box of tricks, this Keith Gillespie. Now Beardsley. Ginola. A lot of work for Ferdinand to do, but he's done it, and here's Lee! Great save, Miller. The keeper really got down well there at extremely short notice. But this is going to be a tried and tested route, you feel, for Newcastle this season. Ferdinand's knocked down, Lee. Well away by Pearson this time. Clark picks it up. Still no breakthrough. Ginola. Middlesbrough looking for something on the break when they can get some breathing space, which isn't very often, quite honestly. Peacock. Here they come again, this time with John Beresford. Gillespie. Oh, that's a great effort, and Miller doing so well again. Well, Brian Robson feels this goalkeeper is a potential England international one day, and he's bailed Middlesbrough out time and again tonight. In again by Barton. Steve Howie, and again Miller saves Borough. Steve Howie on the turn. It was on its way in. Howie once again. Beardsley this time. Powered away by Derek White. The onslaught continues. Ginola again. Once again he beats Cox. And this time he beats the bar by even more. But he's giving poor old Neil Cox a terrible chasing down that left-hand side tonight. Lee, nicely done with his sparring partner Beardsley. Ginola. Vickers, easy. Wasn't the quality of ball you expect from Ginola. But here he is again. Oh, that's a great cross, Ferdinand! Yes! Newcastle United get the breakthrough at last. What a wonderful, wonderful ball from David Ginola. It was a present for Les Ferdinand, who scores his 4th goal in 4 matches since that £6 million move from Queen's Park Rangers. But look at this. There was hardly room to get in any kind of cross, let alone one of that quality, and Ferdinand just... And I wonder if that is going to be Newcastle's Achilles heel this year. But they've got the 3 points tonight. 4 matches, 4 wins. Brave resistance from Middlesbrough, but Kevin Keegan's side are flying at the moment, and Les Ferdinand just can't stop scoring. I'm sure there's far more, but really the man who took the eye was Ginola. Newcastle United, top of the table, and Les Ferdinand says to Terry Venables, why don't you pick me for England?